Shalom, so first and foremost, we give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Bashim Al Shabashim Kakdash, to want to the apostles and else great millstone for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings to the hope like of Israel. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, and Hebrew Bashim is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son, back in our lesson. And as you see within the title, we're going to be going to the famine of this word, this truth. Because very soon you won't be able to obtain, this truth any longer. It's going to be stripped and, taken away. As you've seen the various things that has been doing to the algorithm on YouTube, which is one of the main, apps, sites that we use to, push out this truth, to post our lessons. And you're seeing what the devil's doing in order to make it harder for us to speak on and, go into certain things where we have to, pretty much speak in code. But as you see in this case right here over there in Canada, it says Canada speech police putting citizens in mental ward for speaking against their government. And it's not the first time they've did something like this in regard to them wanting to control the things that people are saying. Because I remember making a lesson a while back dealing with them making it to where people would be fined or jailed for speaking on the Bible in public. So they've been pushing towards these unrighteous decrees, these draconian like laws, and it's going to show the type of times that we are coming into. Because I also watched one of the Elder Brother lessons, GMS, Kansas City, before, I went to this myself. So I watched a little bit of Brother's lessons before going into it, and he made a point to be careful of, who you say things to, who you're speaking to. So you have a lot of these people, trying to, set you up, get you to, say some things in order to, get you to have a gotcha, Because as you also get within the scripture, the devil is seeking to take you out. In the scripture, he's lying, seeking whom he may devour. And really, we shouldn't be on social media like that anyway. In regards to this truth. He also had a while back, the apostles put out that decree to get up off of there. Because really, these people just don't care for this truth anyway. Especially, on social media. Which, I have first-hand experience because before I started making lessons, I used to be, on Instagram, posting stuff, and you had a bunch of bug outs. People just did not care. But, which YouTube is one of the main, sites, we use. You also have a few others that are not as restrictive as YouTube, but YouTube is one of the main apps and such we used to push these lessons as truth. But I do have this quick video I do want to grab just to go to show the situation at hand, the things these people are doing, and just another example of what's to come to Babylon the Great, aka America. Because you're gonna see that they're gonna make this dude seem like he's crazy, just pretty much doing nothing just by the way he's speaking. So how much more us? Scripture going to how we're going to be demonized, how we're going to be, called all these various things, how we're going to be hated for Yahweh Shai's namesake. You also have AI being introduced, and see how that's especially going to be used, and it's not going to be used for the good of humanity. You already see a lot of people falling for, fake situations and, fake people doing fake things. So you imagine what the devil's going to do, especially directed towards us. To demonize us. To paint us in a particular way. To make it seem like we said or did things when we didn't. So it's going to show the type of times that we're coming into and situations we may face. So I'll play this real quick, and I'll get to these scripts at hand. And it's like if I kind of was rambling a little bit, so I got that point across, but let's dive into it.
1984, and I mean the book, not the year, and not the cool, awesome 80s. Canada now has mental health police. Police that can pull you over if you are deemed to be a risk. Now, if you're like, well, what makes you a risk? Who can make you a risk? Well, according to what is happening in this video that I'm about to show you, a psychiatrist recognized a young man, a biophysics major, at a coffee shop, minding his own business. And she decided that he was not well upstairs, and she decided to talk to his family, get more information, and basically put him on a list that would make him eligible to be pulled over when this mental health police comes in. And the cop committed him just by talking to him. And by the way, he sounds sound of mind, he sounds reasonable. And then after committing him, asks him to shut off his camera. This is how dirty Canada is becoming. Just listen to this.
He's a resident psychiatrist, senior resident. He's on a rotation with the CAR 87. We're part of a program that includes Vancouver Coastal Health and...
So with this, this type of time that we're coming into, and you can imagine the type of things that they're going to try to, pin on us. Make it seem like, we're crazy, that we're bugged out. Once the super we're going to be demonized, man. How we're going to be hated by the world. I want to say the Lord got us. But you want just another example, just be wary of, I guess, who you speak to, things that you are saying, because you saw what happened, and she, made that point, that psychiatrist or whatever, saw him at the coffee shop. Don't know if she spoke to him or not, but then she saw how she went to his family. And you should go into how your own family's gonna set you up, give you up,
The Vancouver Police. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we go to people when there's different reasons that come up. Every case is a little different, and we go to people to see them where they are, especially if there's been issues with trying to find them and talk to them. So in your case, I think you were certified under the Mental Health Act just, I don't know how long ago, but like maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. Were you aware of that? Dr. Taylor saw you in a cafe. She didn't certify you. I think you filmed part of it. And then she spoke with your family, got some more information, and, you're going to have to turn that off.
Just one sec. What the officer just told me is that, you and I can set up a meeting and we can chat then. So why don't we do that, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not turning the camera off. I have a legal right to keep the camera on. If you don't want to make the appointment now, we can do it another time. But that's what the officer just asked that we do. So why don't we do that?
So I'm going to certify you under the Mental Health Act. We're going to bring you to a hospital, do testing on you, and you're going to talk to a psychiatrist in a controlled environment, because we don't believe that you're going to attend an appointment.
So let me get this straight. This police officer with, I don't know what kind of training he has for mental health, just decided to certify this young man so that he can take him against his will to a mental hospital to be seen by another psychiatrist to have a full evaluation. But before that evaluation...
This devil wants total control. But, you put him over, already have, had the decision in mind as to what he was going to do. To declare him as crazy and under that, mental health or, act or mental health law, whatever the case may be. But this is on.
He already certified him. So, welcome to 1984, and people are like, why are you afraid of Canada? Yeah, it's not tyrannical at all, right, you guys?
So what happens when a genius starts pushing back against the system? A young man in BC was detained and forced into a psych ward after spreading awareness about state overreach in Canada.
And this is Dr. Emery. He's a resident psychiatrist, senior resident.
So I'm going to certify you under the Mental Health.
I've never been given a chance to attend an appointment.
His name was Nicholas Wagter, and he was detained by police officers after they claimed he was certified by Dr. Christine Taylor, who for some reason had all of her online profiles completely wiped. She apparently evaluated him at a coffee shop where he was holding a meet and greet to connect with people when she and her associates ambushed him and didn't even talk to him for 2 seconds before he stormed out.
Hey, there you go.
Okay, so I'm going to leave.
Pretty much try to set him up.
Because what I'm going to tell you is that what you're doing right now is illegal.
How is it illegal?
What is it? It's an ambush is what you're doing.
It's a mental health assessment, and we need to know what's going on with you.
Yeah?
The weird part is he circled back to the cafe and found that everyone in the cafe seemed to be undercover. One person had a gun, the others had wires and walkie-talkies like they were setting up a sting operation. They're claiming that in that 2-second interaction, the psychiatrist had enough evidence to certify him. Well, I looked into BC's policy for involuntary admission, and they have 4 conditions before they can admit anyone, and literally only one condition was met. The person is deemed by a doctor not suitable as a voluntary patient. So the state actually gave doctors the power to admit anyone they deem unwell into a psychiatric ward without their consent. See, here's the kicker. This all happened after Nicholas had been going around to a bunch of MPs' offices telling them that the government has been passing authoritarian clauses into law, which we all know, that could destroy our sovereignty. This is the document he...
So you get the point. Just going to show, the type of times that we're coming into, and especially, things the devil is going to do, to those that are within this truth. The prophets, the main ones bringing out, this word. Prophesying the downfall of this devil's kingdom, revealing who Esau Edom is today. Things this devil is doing. Who we are, as a people. The true name of our power, Yahweh Yahushua. But it's Revelation 12:12, and it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye of the wind, and woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows that he hath but a short time." So the devil knows his time is ticking, his time's running out. It's also why you see him, beginning to get sloppy with his work. He's rushing to implement these things, But what that main point is going to come down with that great wrath. So the devil's getting ready to, crash. He's getting ready to bring that hammer down. He's going to show, his true colors. He's going to show you why he is called the devil, man. Especially for those jakes that want to put their faith and trust in him. Look at things the devil's getting ready to do. You saw it was pretty much a sting op at that little cafe he was at. It's Amos 8:11-12. Especially dealing with that little sit down they had, trying to have a gotcha moment to get him sent up, or the case may be. Referencing that point the brother brought up, dealing with be careful who you say things to, and information you're giving out. Because as you especially get to that scripture, the devil is seeking to take you out, seeking to set you up, whatever the case may be. It was verse 11. So behold, the days. It's Amos 8:11-12. So behold, the days come, saith the Lord, power, that I'll send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but hearing the words of Yahweh Bashmal Shah. So of course there's gonna be a literal famine, but also a famine of this word, this truth. Very soon it's gonna be taken away. You won't be able to obtain this thing any longer. So why we're trying to push that spiritual urgency to get this truth while you still can, to repent and turn back to Yahweh Bashmal Shah. Because various scriptures go into the importance of having this understanding, to having, this knowledge. This is verse 12. And they shall wander from the sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Bashmal Shai, and shall not find it. And very soon, you're not being in the last days trying to seek out the men of the Lord, trying to seek out the prophets that, taught and have this truth. But it's going to be far too late when you finally want to get your things in order. When you finally want to get right. When you finally want to come to, of what the name of the Heavenly Father is. His only begotten Son. Who we are as a people. Things that are going on all around the world, which we are warned of to by Yahweh Bashmal Shah. The things to come. Exposing who this devil is today. Who that man of sin is. This is why you're going to have this devil going hard, for the prophets. I was making that point earlier, we're going to get demonized. Very scripture going to be hated of the world, which in John, I want to say the 14th chapter, not the 15th chapter. We're going into that. Scripture going to be hated for Yahweh Yahweh's namesake. This is Isaiah 10:1. And it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Now right there was a draconian like law. That word draconian goes to harsh, strict, severe. You saw what happened done with that guy. You know? Didn't have a chance to defend himself. You know, one look, hey, you're crazy. Now you're not getting sent up. So imagine, how much more us, man. 2 Corinthians 11. I'm probably going to also grab those scriptures with that hate. But as Satan should get vengeance, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And we see what this devil's playing at, and ultimately what this is leading up to. What's done with this mental health law or act, what are they trying to push? Just another example of things that devil's getting ready to do and come down with. Let's get that hated by the world. This is John 15. This is John 15:18. It says, the world hates you. You know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. But because you're not of the world, but I've chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. It's why we're not accepted. This is why you see these people in these anti-Christian churches and, pushing these bugged out false doctrines are always held, on a pedestal, for going against the ways of Yahweh Bashmal Shah, for denying this truth, denying the Lord. This is why he also in Isaiah 5:20 says, woe unto that call evil good and good evil. It's all backwards, man. Because when we speak on, going to certain things, we're not so-called, politically, correct. That's why you have this, cancel culture. If you say something that's aligned with, what goes on in today's society, you not accepting, the alphabet stuff and, all sorts of wickedness and confusion, you're somehow the bad guy and the odd one out, the black sheep. In reality, they're the black sheep, man. If you're of the world, love is own, because you're not of the world, but I've chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Verse 21, the word that I said unto you, servant is not greater than his Lord. If they persecute me, they will also persecute you. So these are things that we're going to come to face. If they've kept my saying, they will keep yours also. This is Matthew 10:22, and I'll get the rest of these scriptures. And it says, and it shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endures to the end shall be saved. So they are going to be demonized. As you already see the various, labels and big names, buzzwords that they're done onto us, like extremist, cult, hate group, all these various things to paint us in a particular way. And that's going to be, more amplified, coming to these last days, man. This is, verse 23 on down says, but when they persecute you in the city, flee into another, for verily I say unto you, you should not have gone over the seas of Israel till the Son of Man be come. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. So we're not exempt from these things. Got a few more scriptures. This is Isaiah 33:6. And it says, in wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength and salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So once again, going to show the importance of having this knowledge and understanding, you can also get, I want to say, Matthew the 7th chapter. And you're going to build your house upon a rock. A solid, strong, firm foundation. Really that rock ultimately being our Lord Yahweh Shah. But you have other people building their house, upon sand, which is a weak foundation, easily moved, easily wavered. But once again, starting from on top, and wisdom knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength, salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So having this knowledge and understanding keeps us sane, keeps us stable. Okay, we're in the know as to what's getting ready to pop off and ultimately happen. And that's why we're warning of these things through Spin Prayer Yahweh Shema Shah. That's why the Lord has set up prophets and watchmen among you to do so. Reading Ezekiel 3, I want to say 17. You give them warning from me. You know, the scripture in Isaiah 62, I said, watchmen upon towers that will not to peace day nor night. Who are those watchmen? The prophets, the men of the Lord. But you also see how the devil's going to try to twist and turn things that we say, paint us in this certain way. And what this, as you saw with that situation, is ultimately going to snowball into. That's just another example of what's to come. The type of things that the devil's getting ready to do. In Psalm 91-4 says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. So, which in trying to further establish that point of the importance of this truth. This is why you're going to have people seek out the prophets, the men of the Lord in these last days. Trying to seek out this knowledge, this understanding. Because as you always see in these apocalyptic type of movies, people gravitate towards the people that are in the know. That know how to operate and maneuver in the midst of those times. But y'all are going to be rejected. You're going to be turned away. Because y'all didn't want to seek the Lord then. You know? A couple more and it'll be the point. Isaiah 31-3. It says, woe to the rebellious children, say the Lord that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover they covering, but out of my spirit, that may add sin to sin. Verse 2, that walked to go into Egypt, and having asked in my mouth to strengthen himself and strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust and shadow of Egypt your confusion. So it'll be your shame and confusion for trusting, within this devil. For trusting in your enemy. Ephesians 5:15-16 says, see that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. You kind of see what that situation that took place within that video. They try to set that dude up. Try to sit down with him, make him, maybe say something to, get him, but they got him anyway, And you saw that other part where, he came back and you saw people with guns inside, having earpieces. This is verse 16, redeem the time because the days are evil. But also going back to the top of the verse, is circumspectly being, watchful, being careful, wary. Especially with these times, man. And things this devil's getting ready to do and come down with. But that's it right there. Sorry if I kind of rambled on certain points, but Lord will tie it all together. Came across that Elder Brothers video, Jimus, Kansas City. I wouldn't make it less than going to myself. Because it's something that we are getting ready to come into, dealing with the famine of this word. As you've been seeing in the past situations, things that we have been doing in order to pretty much usher this in. Dealing with the algorithm changes, making it harder for us to speak on, go into certain things on YouTube, and as you've seen the various things on these social media sites and apps, to where you can't speak on certain things, nor go into certain things. Your video will be flagged or taken down, whole channel taken down, as the case may be. So this grip is being tightened, as you see in that situation over there in Canada. So that was done to him. Imagine how much more the prophets, man, things stuff are getting ready to do. But that's it right there. Lord's will decide to find you out. Give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Shabbat, Shem, Krak, Dash, and Shalom. Since when, Lord's will.